Welcome back to the Tracy Take. I am Tyler here with my brother Ryan, and today we are breaking down the Green Bay Packers 2024 NFL Draft. They had a lot of exciting picks. It's going to be fun breaking down each and every one. But before we do that, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe to the Tracy Take, and also tackle that bell to get notified when new Packers videos come out. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the start of the NFL season, and when the season kicks off, we're going to have weekly prediction videos for every single Packers game. So you're not going to want to miss out on those. So go ahead, like, subscribe, and also tackle that bell. Ryan, let's pull up the Packers slides here. So I do believe I feel fairly confident that the Packers were going to take Terry Arnold if Detroit did not jump over them. That being said, though, I do like Jordan Morgan pick here. I think that's why they probably didn't want to trade up because there were a bunch of guys I think that they liked. Yeah. John Runyon moved on as well. I think with how young this offense is, it doesn't hurt to even have other great offensive talent, offensive line talent that you can move around. I think throughout the offensive line, I think Jordan Morgan can do that. I think Grant Barton might have been a little bit of a better pick in my opinion, but I just because of his overall versatility all throughout. From like they say Grant Barton was a center, but like they kept showing left tackle highlights. I think that just shows his versatility. But Jordan Morgan as well, I think just as versatile. Maybe not as much of a pure center, but I think you can move him around the offensive line. I think he's just a great talent overall.
Yeah, he played left tackle at Arizona. Probably going to kick into left guard just with that arm length. This is going to sound stupid, but he has in the threshold of the NFL is 33 inches, and he is 32 at like 7/8. And Peter Skoronski was 32 and a half last year, and even he, who was a much better offensive line prospect than Jordan Morgan, even he did not make the cut at left tackle. Yeah. So it's just going to be interesting to kind of see how that goes, but I do project him to be that left fill in at that left guard spot. But again, you can never have too many good offensive linemen in that room. So I do like this pick. I think it's a good fit. I believe we actually had these two kind of tied together. However, we had them taking Jordan Morgan with the next pick in the second round, just because we projected him to fall a little bit because of that arm length.
Well, yeah, and as for too, just with the secondary need overall that we felt. Just with one, Jonathan Owens and the likes of others moving on. They did sign Xavier McKinney in the offseason, and they're going to address secondary here several times later on in this draft. But, Jordan Morgan, I felt like potentially we thought could have been in that 41st overall pick overall, where we ended up taking him a lot in our 3 and 7 round mock drafts for the Packers. I still think this is a good pick. I think also as well here, this is another solid pick, Edrin Cooper as well. Keep beefing up that defensive front seven. I think the Packers, we were kind of looking at it, not too many deficiencies overall in that front seven, but you go get a great player like Edrin Cooper and just helping out. I saw a funny meme, a funny Step Brothers meme that compared Edrin Cooper and Quay Walker to Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly when they're going into their interviews. It just cracked me up just because I was kind of looking at it and be like, yep, I feel like both those guys are just going to absolutely just mess things up for these offense.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you the PG version if everybody knows the quote or the meme that I'm talking about. I like Edrin Cooper a lot. I think pretty sure he was the first linebacker off the board. And so getting him here, he seems like a Green Bay Packer as well. Love his aggressiveness and just his ranginess as well.
Yeah, very athletic guy to be paired next to Quay Walker. But both those guys are going to be all over the field. Both can play sideline to sideline. So I like this fit. I think he's going to add another level of physicality to this defense. So speaking of adding to this physicality to this defense, the next second round pick for them, Javon Bullard, the hard-hitting safety from Georgia, very rangy guy, can kind of play in a multitude of spots. I wouldn't say he's a single high safety, but if you're going to run a 2 high or a 3 high system, can definitely play there. Also can play down by the box and cover tight ends as well. So I like this fit. I think they added Xavier McKinney and already, and he's a good fit to be paired next to him.
Absolutely, yeah. And so a guy like Javon Bullard, I think he's adding good depth, good versatility, and so they did bring McKinney, but also McKinney is a little bit on the older side. So developing these young guys, for future seasons as well. Moved on to their third-round picks. They had 2 third-round picks that were essentially back-to-back. Marshawn Lloyd at USC and then Tyron Hopper as well, linebacker out of Missouri. I like the Marshawn Lloyd pick. I think he's going to be a great complement to both Josh Jacobs and also A.J. Dillon, just a totally different type of running back than both of them. I think a good transition then to if A.J. Dillon's more that bowling ball back, and so if they move on from A.J. Dillon after the season, and you still have Josh Jacobs, and I think he could still be that third down back and can slowly develop into maybe kind of a guy that you could potentially run it in between the tackles here, as well as just how good this offensive line could be. And Tyron Hopper as well. They double dipped in a linebacker position. But that being said, they're still very just athletic player. I think that's what the Packers were going for here.
Yeah, and that's I like Marshawn Lloyd. He can be that every down back in case Josh Jacobs gets hurt, and also can just give him a breather as well. But Tyron Hopper, another linebacker there. I want to say he's a little bit smaller. Yeah, he's
A little
only
bit smaller
6'2",
of an
230.
Yeah.
But he's still a really good athlete as well. So I like that pick there. Let's move on to their day 3 picks here. A couple safeties coming off the board here in Evan Williams and Keaton Oladapo. And in the middle there, Jacob Monk addressing the interior of that offensive line. Again, I think both of these guys or all three of these guys are just going to be good depth pieces at some competition at some areas of need potentially.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Keaton Oladapo, Travis Glover out of Georgia State, then end up getting Michael Pratt as well, but developmental QB. Apparently they're not liking Sam Clifford. And so I'm just joking around. But and then wrapping up as well, Kalen King, cornerback out of Penn State.
Quite the fall.
Quite the fall. I think I remember when we did our way too early 2024 mock draft. I think he was a potential top 15 pick. And so a lot of players here. I like that they addressed the secondary, but my one thing, and this is kind of what went into my grades, I wish they addressed the cornerback position a little bit more. They got safety covered. Safety, I think, should be good. I think one of these guys should pan out to be a perfectly fine safety. I think they have some good variety, like even Evan Williams as well. Javon Bullock's going to be maybe a little bit more of the he's a little bit more of a guy you can bring up into the box, that strong safety. Evan Williams can do that, but he'll probably transition more to the free safety side. But I wish they got some more corners here. I think the only corner you really got, Kalen King. Very curious how he's going to develop overall, because I think that was a big need as well, just with their overall depth. But as we've seen though as well, if you have a good defensive front seven, you can roll with an average to sub average secondary, just because the defensive front seven is just going to keep getting so much pressure, and they do have a good defensive front, and they got some good guys here as well to help continue and build that front seven. So that probably can take some pressure off that secondary. But in general, though, I thought it was a good overall draft for the Packers, above average for me. Ryan and I, we graded each one, and we graded them against one another and how we felt that they did against other teams' drafts. And so we both ended up going with a B+ here. That's above average for me. I would say probably top 10 draft. I think they maybe missed out on getting some secondary guys. Like they did just miss out on Terran Arnold and some of the other guys as well. But they definitely addressed the secondary with that safety position. Brought some good versatile players I think they can bring up into the box, address the free safety position as well, and have some good versatility.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I thought they did a really good job. I liked a lot of these picks that they made. They got good value on day 3. And I think a lot of the guys that they took in the top 100 are going to come in and have an impact right away. So an above average draft grade for them. I think they did a good job of just bringing in some young players. So
yeah, I agree completely.
Let's go ahead and wrap this one up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on what you thought of the Packers 2024 NFL draft class. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you have done differently? And then that we will see you guys